Welcome to the Rethink and Return podcast. My name is Jason Shepard. Every week, we rethink things and return to God's original intention and His design. We generally do 2 recordings a week. One, we revisit a passage of Scripture that thousands of people are studying together in a Sunday gathering or in a house church, and we're just going to dig more deeply into these things that we didn't get to talk about enough or want to talk about more that we're wrestling with. And then we do another recording where we're just working out leadership things, being a pastor and ministry or leading stuff, and wrestling with tensions of how we live like that in our world today. So we'd love for you to like this, subscribe to it, share it with other people. Enjoy the podcast. We'll see you soon. Hey, thanks for joining us for the Rethink and Return podcast. This is our leadership talk. We do one every week, on the sermon, but this one today is a leadership talk. And this is a little different of a leadership talk. At our church this week, because of all the events that have been happening in the world, I just knew that we needed to have some moments to work through all this stuff. So, by the way, thanks, Dave, for joining me.
So glad to be here.
A lot of sermon conversations. You do almost every one of those with me when you're in town, but also some leadership things you do with me.
Right.
And this one I think is especially good because this is about how we're handling this in our church,
Right,
and how we handled it this week. And so, this is what we did at our church yesterday. I just sensed this week we need a moment to really lament. Like, we need to grieve. We need to learn how to grieve. I asked our lead worship guy who, directs our worship stuff for us to sing the song Lament by Robbie C., which our worship pastor had told me about many months ago in July, not too many months ago, actually, with the flooding. We had a moment of lament that heavy in our region here in Texas with all the loss. And again this week, nationally and globally, all this stuff we're going through. So we had in our gathering a moment of lament. Like, we really walk through grief. I think it's really important to allow people to grieve, to teach them how to grieve. Yeah. We're grieving on our own. A lot of people are grieving online, but to be in a room with people,
right,
that's a gift from the Lord, and we need that. Large room and small room. Mm-hmm. And so we walked through grieving with people, and then we had some time of worship and meditation and scripture reading and silence like we always do. But then when we got into our sermon, I did a sermon before the sermon.
Right, that's right.
Which I know was long yesterday, but I didn't want to miss Galatians, but also we couldn't miss these other things. And, the first thing I said was, I think we're in a moment right now. One of our guys this morning on our team said we're in a war, and I said, yeah, but now that war has a bullet.
That's right.
Like, we've all been in a war, we've all been sensing it, but now the war has a bullet. And whatever side you're on, shooting a bullet or getting shot by a bullet, or commentaries or thoughts about it, the war now has a bullet. We've been in a war for a while.
That's right. And not a metaphorical war. Like, I think everyone throws around, we wrestle not against principality and powers. That's right, but that's an actual, we're in an actual conflict.
There's actual
being
conflict
played out, and with actual conflict, there are real consequences and casualties.
Right. And there has been a war of words and other war, politically things, but everybody feels it. Like, we've done a lot of trips to Israel. I know people in Israel well, and so for a long time. And one of my good friends in Israel, I asked him one time, I said, what is it like living here? He said, you're living with a constant tension of war all the time in the region. Like, everybody's always fighting. No matter what side you're on, there's just a tension, right? Like, even if you're not in war,
right,
there are people who hate each other all around you.
Right.
And I think it's actually that way in most of the world. We see it right now around Europe, around Asia. It's in Africa. It's in South America. We don't hear about a lot of it, But in America, like, this has been building, decades.
Right.
But this stuff has been really spilling over. We see it in our history, a lot of sad history in America, and now we're living in it again. But this past week, super heavy week. Like a school shooting that we barely heard about, man.
Right.
One, because there's too many of them, and two, because it got overshadowed by other things. innocent Ukrainian girl who fled a war to get stabbed in the neck on a bus while people watched.
Yes.
I said,
insane.
I said to somebody, I'm like, you put any church project men on that bus, that's not happening,
Right.
man.
That's right.
The dude stands up, the girl makes a noise, that guy's gone.
That's right. He's not going to be strolling about the train.
No, people have their phones out. No. I'm like, where are the men with courage? And so, like, we're devastated by school shootings and innocents being stabbed and able-bodied people that have no courage that are watching this, man. And then Charlie Kirk, over ideas being exchanged.
Right.
And look, I read something somebody wrote today, and I thought it was really good. They're like, Charlie Kirk was 31 when he died. And a lot of his ideas that have been building, I mean, somebody said, anything I would have said up to 31, I would hope that people would have given me grace on. But I mean, this dude, if he said some things that people didn't agree with, give him some grace. But
Right.
So much of what he said, I'm like, yeah, dude.
Right.
He's sharing the gospel everywhere he goes, getting back to order and principles in life, and letting anybody who opposes you pick up a microphone to your face
That's
and
right.
say vile things to you. I don't know anybody else. I mean, we don't even like somebody saying something negative about us online. But he allowed people to come stand in his face.
That's right.
With a microphone. And if other people jeered those people, he'd be like, no, respect them and let them talk.
That's right.
It's the most unusual thing. Like, one of the reasons why I think it had so much widespread impact, like Charlie Kirk himself, is because we haven't seen anybody ever, I think globally, that had the willingness to, and people who are willing to engage with him, different ideas come to a microphone and talk.
Right.
That's all it was. Like, and even if you did not agree with this idea, he would give you a microphone.
And let you do it. That's right.
Give me another example
Right.
of somebody. And I'm not deifying this guy. I'm not saying I agree with 100% of what he said or how he said it, but I don't know. I mean, I have to go, but there would be no human I ever would. But I liked most of what I heard from him. And some I would, if it was me, I would probably say it differently, you know? But at the end of the day, I'm not even talking about his ideas. Just the act of a human being sitting down and giving another person who hated you a microphone and just responding with rhetoric and logic and perspective and being willing, even people who disrespected him or disagree with him, to sit there and accept you. Though you disrespect me or disagree with me, it was the most unusual thing anyone has seen. And so in addition to a lot of people loving or hating his ideas, what we hadn't seen is that kind of a forum.
Right.
And there's no other forum like it. Like, if people say they're against that, I'm like, bull, whatever, because everybody's trying to do it in their own forum on their social media.
Right.
Everybody's posting what they think, and somebody else is arguing with them, and they argue back and forth on all these text strings. And so if people are like, that rhetoric shouldn't happen, I'm like, well, then get off your, only show a picture of your family vacation on social media and never say your opinion.
Yeah.
So everybody's trying to do socially what he was doing in person with people.
That's right.
And so, like, we have these debates and these dialogues, and there's a lot of division in our nation, but he's trying to have a talk and then enter a bullet. And who knows what conspiracy theories may or may not come true out of this, but the fact of the matter is a person pulled a trigger and shot this guy and killed him. And, of course, we've already seen.
Right.
You can't kill things like this. You can kill a person, but you can't kill a movement. And so I think it's really shallow for somebody who would be listening to this right now and go, oh, you're, proponent of... No, I'm a proponent of the ability to engage in dialogue.
That's right.
And I have a ton of respect for a person who can allow an opponent to come and to your face say horrible things about you, and give them a microphone, invite them to do it, and tell other people to let you. Like that is, I respect that among the most, regardless of agreeing with much of what he said.
Right.
And so we've been in a war, but now the war has a bullet.
That's right. And we've lost this. I mean, the thing that made what he was doing so unique is that he was willing to have a conversation with the competition of ideas. Like let's put these ideas out and let's run it out their logical conclusion. You know, as you often say, let's bring this and take it all the way to the end and see which one is the winning argument. And we've lost this as a society, even personally. People, if you don't agree with someone, you cancel them, you get rid of them, right? And so this the inability to communicate was something he reestablished, and it was so rare that there would be thousands of college students that would show up to watch this happen.
Yeah,
like it was that unique.
That's right.
You know, all these campuses, there was, you know, even in Utah, there was 3,000 students that gathered to enter into this, watch this dialogue happen.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, I can't remember what I posted this week that's been shared a lot and liked a lot. But the thing I said was this has been an attack on our ability to have free discourse and ideas.
Yeah.
And so, like, what people are having to decide now is, does this embolden me to be able to share my ideas, or does it cause me to retract into the darkness and hide?
Mm-hmm.
And what people are feeling, I think, is this attack on that freedom,
right?
And on people's desire to allow people to engage in discourse. I mean, we already feel the negative consequences of conflict on social media.
Sure.
And so that's already brewing, and that hasn't gone away. And I think people are, again, I'll restate it, and maybe if I keep restating it, I'll say it better. I just haven't had this talk in this way up until this moment. But I think it's super hypocritical for people to say, this guy shouldn't have convictions and share them publicly.
Right.
And allow people to respond, because so many people are doing that constantly on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody doesn't like them. And you know what everybody's saying online even now? Feel free to unfriend me if you don't like what I'm saying. Or they'll say, I unfriended so many people. But I'm like, well, Jesus was a friend of people who disagreed with him.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, like, what Charlie Kirk was doing was, he wasn't saying, feel free to unfriend me. He was saying, feel free.
Let's have a dialogue.
So all these hypocrites who were like, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, well, you're not even nearly as courageous. Not only did he could articulate his convictions as well as anybody. I mean, it inspired me I should be able to articulate my convictions more clearly.
Right.
And I can pretty well. For sure. I mean,
Right.
I live by convictions, but I'm like, this guy even encouraged me to do that even more. Even if you disagreed with him, I would want somebody on the other side, and I think he respected it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you came with an idea and you had convictions that were clearly articulated, I mean, those are the best back and forth things.
Yeah.
But we're not even people, most people aren't even people who are willing to say, hey, feel free to go back and forth with me in ideas, and you can still be my friend. Like, I'm unfriending people. Feel free to unfriend me. We can't even have a dialogue anymore.
Yeah.
And so I believe that all the stuff that's boiling over is residue of, you can blame it on whoever you want, but it's every individual who does this on their social media, and it's everyone, almost everyone, and it's everywhere, and it's every day.
That's right, every day.
Yeah. I mean, we read people's stuff online, just normal household individuals who are not well known. You read a string of stuff on social media, and it makes us nauseous.
It's terrible.
People don't know how to have discourse.
No.
And I think we have to be able to talk.
Yeah.
And social media is not doing it. So the guy's like, let's sit in a room and get a microphone in public.
Right.
And I mean, I even saw a clip this week where this old man, I had seen it before when he did it. This guy's like, let's fight. And Charlie's like, what, man? Like, can we not as civilized humans have opposing viewpoints and have dialogue and understand each other and respect each other?
I mean, it's possible to disagree without being disagreeable. This is one of the things that Jesus did, was he never let differences make a difference to how he treated people.
Yeah.
He never let their ethnic difference or their point of view, that was never a determining factor for how he treated someone. And I think we got to get back to this art of, you can hear an opposing viewpoint without it totally destroying your world.
That's right.
And I know this is the leadership podcast. I think, I watched you yesterday lead through all of these episodes, everything that we've talked about. And I know we have a lot of leaders that listen to this, and so I think it's important. I know that you kind of went through 4 significant things that you said to our people yesterday, and I think it's really important for us to articulate those things on this podcast. So maybe people that are going to speak Wednesday night to their people, or lead a Bible study, or at our bosses at work, that have to have something, some footholds, some signposts that they can kind of grip onto. So I think that,
Well, what were those things? The take care of our city, the take care of yourself.
Like you said, the city needs us.
Yeah.
That was the first thing.
Yeah, I did. I said, look, like there's an urgency in this moment, and I don't think it's going away. Like you have a 9/11, which was an event, an outside attack. People woke up to evil in the world.
Yeah.
And like church attendance increased for a while and these things, but it goes away.
Yeah.
And then you have, COVID, which is a weird event, which we saw more things in the world there. But this is, I think, different. Like the war now has a bullet, and things have opened up in a new way, and it's going to be lasting. Like we're going to see more and more evil, which in some ways is helpful for us to get away from I said yesterday, we're listening to violin music on the deck of the Titanic when we need to be getting people into the lifeboats.
Yeah.
And as followers of Jesus right now, like we know, hey, here's a lifeboat over here, and this is sinking.
Yeah.
And so right now, here's what we know. This place is sinking. Like biblically we know it, but now we really see this place is sinking. And we need to get people into the lifeboat, and Jesus is the life. He's the way. Mm-hmm. And so we're in a new era, and for the rest of our lives, this is a fulcrum, I believe. Things have been building, but this is a waypoint. Like the assassination of Charlie Kirk is a new waypoint.
Right.
And not based on whatever you think or feel about him, but the reality of what this has revealed about our society. Something is going to shift even further and more clearly now. There will be more division. There will be more animosity. Mm-hmm. People will get more convicted and more embedded on either side. Yep. But I said yesterday, look, we as followers of Jesus, not followers of Charlie Kirk, only to the point that he pointed us to Jesus, which I think he did in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
And some people would say in some ways he didn't. Okay, then discount those ways. But we as followers of Jesus, we have to be emboldened in what we believe, like really convicted about what we believe. Mm-hmm. And the conviction for us, the boldness for us should elevate, because it's easy for us to go, oh, you don't agree with my way? That's fine. Your way's not working either, bro.
Right.
Like no way out there is working. Your government way, your philosophy way, your whatever way, socialism, communism, fascism, whatever you're saying is or isn't, none of those ways are working. And so what we've got to do is really be confident that we need to quit worrying about people putting down Jesus as the way, because no other way is working.
It's all broken.
It's all broken. Mm-hmm. And so, one, the city needs us, and we have to have, I wrote, full consecration to the mission of Christ.
Right.
And this is your city. Like, wherever you live, you're only living in one place at a time. Even if you have a vacation home, you're only in one of those at a time. Mm. Like, this is your place. God put you there. Your city needs you. So we need to take responsibility for our city. So, one, your city needs you. Two, I said, we need to take care of ourselves. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the city needs us. Look, one by one, this is how we talked in our last podcast about Galatians chapter 5 that came out on Tuesday. Walk by the Spirit, like walking this way. Mm-hmm. The way that our life follows the Spirit is just walking day by day. The way that our city gets changed is one by one by one.
That's right.
Like, I'm not looking for someone in our church body to be the one.
Right.
I just want every one of us to be one of the ones.
One of the ones.
Like, we need to be one of the ones. If every one of us will be one of the many ones, our city will change. So we walk by the Spirit day by day, and we go after one by one. My friend Joby Martin at his church, at the church that he's a pastor of 1122, they have this saying, one more. Like, we want one more people, one more person here, one by one, people coming here. And for me, just one by one, each one of us saying, I'm going to be one of the ones who bring one more here.
Good.
But in addition to all this, look, I mean, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. We have to take care of ourselves. I think not in exclusion of taking care of our neighbor. While we're doing it, we're running parallel tracks together. But yesterday I said to our people, or this past Sunday I said to our people, you have to take care of yourself. And who are you? Your body and soul and spirit.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to take care of your body, I'm like, one, get outside, get in creation that God made you. Right. I mean, if we're on our screens and we're not looking at the sky or the stars, our perspective is so skewed. So if you're on your screen and you're not looking at the sky and you're not looking at the stars, your perspective is going to get skewed. And so God gave us creation to go, hey, look, we're all bound by gravity and height to this earth's crust. Mm-hmm. This is as far as we're getting off this place, unless we're in a plane. But the sky and the stars show us, there's so much more.
Right.
And so we need to get outside in creation. We need to make sure we're sleeping. Like, we got to make sure we're eating. Some people, to fill these gaps and this pain, they're over-medicating now. They're over-drinking. They're over-stimulating, numbing by watching too much stuff. I think it's good to watch a movie every once in a while, or watch a game every once in a while, or watch a show. I think that's good. But we do know when we've crossed that line, it's just like reading a book in a different form. Read a book. But we know when we cross the line and like we're using it as a medication.
Right. You're just numbing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to get outside. We need to watch if we're putting in too much alcohol, too much food, not enough exercise, whatever. So we have to take care of our body. And then I said, look, we need to work and rest and laugh and eat and drink and be merry. We have to do, even in the middle of grieving, we have to still keep living and taking care of our body. And then I said, take care of your soul. And for me, I said, look, part of that is you need to set some time where you're off social media. I said yesterday or Sunday, you own your phone. Mm-hmm. Like, you own it.
Right.
And you can delete the app. You can do that. And like a long practice of mine, with some exceptions, has been for certain days of the week, I literally delete the app off my phone, because otherwise I may just by repetition just go there. Yeah. And so I deleted off my phone, which then increases in awareness in me. Oh, I've tried to get on that app like 7 times today. Maybe I'm addicted to that. Yeah. So delete it off your phone and give yourself some space to not read the news or to read that. And the world's going to keep going and not change much actually in between here and there. So I said, take care of your body, take care of your soul. You got to get off social media. You got to get with people. Mm-hmm. Like, we got to be with other humans. I know that's hard. I saw this week this guy who I see at one place by himself all the time. And then I saw him at this other restaurant by himself. Yeah. And I went up to him at one of those places. And I just said, hey, man, I see you at these places. I'm usually here with other people, but I've never met you. And I just wanted to meet you. Yeah. And I just had a conversation with this guy who's alone a lot. Wow. And for me, I'm like, hey, I'm hoping that was a good conversation that at some point is going to get to God and the gospel. Yeah. And I want this guy to get into the order of God, the kingdom of God, the way of God, which would include his body. And I don't want this guy to be alone every day. Right. And so, like, we got to get with people. We got to take care of our body, soul, and we got to take care of our spirit. Like I said, we got to get in the Word. We got to pray. We got to listen to, like, I've elevated even over the last week or two, listening to worship music. I'm like, that's not the only thing I listen to. It's not all I listen to, but like this week even, I'm like, I need to listen to more of that. I mean, I need to be in prayer more, word more, especially in this elevated season. So right now, in this war that we're in, that's taken a whole nother level, we need to care for our city. We need to know this is our time and our city. One by one more. Yeah. One by one more. That's right. And then we need to take care of our body, soul, and spirit. And then I said we need to take care of each other, like as a church community. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you look at the construct of a church, it is an alternative community within a community. It's a sub-community. And Jesus' plan was, he said, all these people around you are going to know what it means to be a Christian by the way you're loving each other. So like we're this alternative form of community within our own community. And so we need to take care of our city, and we need to take care of our own body, soul, and spirit, ourselves, but also we need to really take care of the church community. This for me would mean this, that people who are not in the local body, like engaged, here's how I define being in community. You know people's names and they know yours. You know their needs and they know yours. Like I know where you are in your walk in life. I know what's going on in your marriage, your family, your parents. Some people in the community know that. I know your names, your needs, and I know your next steps. Like I know your next step of obedience with Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know right now, you don't know how to read your Bible, I'm going to help you with that.
Sure. You
don't know how to get unaddicted to that sin, I'm going to show you how Jesus is going to help you do that. I'm going to know your name, I'm going to know your need, and I'm going to know your next step. That's real community. So we need a corporate common room. I mean, Jesus did it, taught people on the thousands by the mountainsides, but that wasn't enough. It wasn't all. So we need a Sunday to sit in a room, but that can't do it for you.
Right.
But some people exclude the beauty of Sunday, which we experience every week here and we need for the community, but they're distinct. They're complementary. They're not competing.
Right.
They're complementary. And so some people compete, it's this or this. No, we need both. But if you're only in the big room and you're not in the small room, like you don't know somebody's names, needs, or next steps, and they don't know yours. So we have to take care of each other as a church because that's the hope that our city's going to go, there is an alternative. And I'm going to try that out.
It's powerful.
It is, yeah.
And I love that because I think it forces people, like when we're talking about leadership and how you are leading the church through it, you're really forcing people to recapture the significance of the church in their own life, and for people that are loners, that Christians need to take the first step and reach out to people. Don't wait for someone to come to you. You get in a community, or if you see someone that's out of community, you take the first step. But we have to take the initiative on this. One of the things that I wrote down that you talked about was that because of all of this craziness, it really is our time. This is one of the things you said, that it's the church's time.
It is.
It's our time as individuals, as believers.
If we look at movements through the Bible, there were I keep using the word waypoint. There may be, points on a timeline. There were moments where things shifted. When you look at movements in history, whether Christ movements or other sociological movements, they were all based on moments. There is a sociologist who also says wherever you find a movement, you'll also find a man, like a man or a woman. You find a person. And you have overarching movements that have that person, and then you have sub-movements that have that person. And so there are moments, and then there are men and women. And so right now we have both that have collided. And we're in a moment where things will shift. And we'll go in a little bit of a different direction, and we won't recover where we were. And for me, I'm excited about what that could produce. But if we ignore it,
right,
or just try to live as normal, I'd like to say we'll miss it, but no, it's going to happen without us, but we'll miss opportunities.
Right.
And so for me, the opportunity right now is we're all as a nation equally unsettled. Everybody's unsettled. I mean, you could go to, bless you, Connecticut, California, Colorado, whatever other C states, or Texas, Tennessee, or wherever. I mean, like, you can go all around our nation. You can go all around the different cities. We're all really connected here, and it's been a while in this way, to this depth. But we see it over, American history, over decades, even modern history and beyond. But this isn't, I think it's a mandate for us to not miss this moment.
I do too. I agree with that.
And so we each individually have to go, okay, God, here's what that means for me. What needs to shift in me? Wow. And we can't be so passive and just go, I'm just going to see what happens. That's just selfish survival. But we have a mandate to step into this moment. And that's why I said this week to our people in the sermon before the sermon, I said, look, there's not a whole lot different that we need to do. Like, we're still going to do the beautiful things that we're doing here, live in diverse discipleship decentralized communities that we call house churches. Yeah. We're still going to gather simply on Sundays and study the scriptures and pray. And, you can't find us from a phone number or website. I mean, it's just, you want to get into our body, go to the closest house church. Yeah. Come on a Sunday, but other than that, we're not meeting at this building. We're sharing it throughout the week and stuff like that but we don't have stuff based here. We're really decentralized. We're not going to change. We're partnering with ministries in our city, and we're planting churches. Right. We're not changing that. But what we are doing is we're elevating prayer. First, personally, God, what do you want from me? I mean, this morning, I recovered a little bit more of a former practice of prayer. I'm feeling this for myself. Yeah. So one, personally, how is God calling me to rearrange my prayer life? And then in community, like even with our team this morning, we talked about how we are specifically praying differently.
That's right.
We talked about with our whole church yesterday. I heard stories already about how house churches have been praying differently this week. Like one person told us, they said, our house church prayed very differently this week.
Right.
Like we are elevating this sense of urgency, this responsibility for this moment. We have a mandate in this moment to respond and to elevate it. And so for me, this is how it's all solved. We're willing to have conversations with people, and we're wanting them to, with confidence, bring them into the order of God, which is, for me, the gospel. Jesus reconciles us to himself, us to each other, and he's going to reconcile all things. That's the kingdom.
Right.
And so this is the moment for us to do it. And if we miss this moment, you may never step into another moment.
Right.
What would it take?
Yeah. If not this, what will it take?
If not
One of the things you said yesterday was like, if you're afraid that people are going to reject you for your views of things, this is where you talked about like everyone's strategy around us is broken, and this should elevate the effectiveness of the gospel. Like we're sitting in the middle of all these broken ideologies, broken people, broken craziness on the internet, and like there's no reason to feel like someone's going to reject you or they may not like you because you're carrying something that withstands, as you say, problems, pandemics, political situations.
That's right.
This really should show us the effectiveness and the strength of the gospel.
That's right.
In the midst of all this, and it should make you not arrogant or like being a Jesus jerk, but it should help you to speak with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, we should be more bold about what we believe now. And if you take your beliefs to somebody, or I think people live with a general modicum of maybe fear or apology for having clarity or conviction on what they believe.
Yeah.
Or maybe some insecurity that you can bring to me your idea and I can't defend mine. But what this has opened up, all of this has opened up for us is to go, no idea defeats the gospel. Like right. This is the most powerful, enduring, effective idea.
That's right.
And of course we know it's because it comes from God. It is his order to us.
Yeah.
But we should walk around with a lot less fear and a lot more boldness, but also if we do it in love, which is how we're called to do it. If we do it in love, what we're doing is we're going to people and we're bringing them their answer.
Right.
And we just have to believe that this is the answer. And right now, people are more open to it than maybe. I'm 51.
Yeah.
I can't think of another time in my life
I can't either.
that people have been more hungry for it.
And even amongst this next generation, like we saw yesterday, high schoolers praying together, taking communion together. Like I saw it when I was out on the road, like students just assembling to read scripture and to intercede for their campus. I mean, this next generation is already the Jesus generation in many ways. And
it's time
because
again.
of all this madness.
That's right.
It's going to trigger, I think, the next great revival.
Yeah. I mean, we look at the last movement, great movement a long time ago, in the 60s or 70s, and now we're seeing it again. Mm-hmm. But I would, as we close on this podcast, Dave, I would remind us all, we're not looking for new answers here.
Right.
I mean, the answer is still the gospel.
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to do the gospel plus something else. We're not trying to say the gospel plus politics, the gospel plus rhetoric. I mean, some of those things can be vehicles, but really the goal is the gospel.
That's right.
And we got to, like Paul, as we've been talking about Galatians, it's the purity of the gospel and the power of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And so I'm just calling our people now to recognize the moment, accept the mandate,
Yeah.
Care for yourself and your city and your church.
Yeah.
And we're going to elevate prayer radically as the fuel behind all of it. We're not changing the gospel, adding to the gospel, but we are recognizing and accepting this moment as a mandate. And we're going to step into it and not miss it.
Yeah.
And so, if somebody is a pastor listening to this, or they lead any kind of community at all, I think there's some principles here to take and apply. I have been hearing from our people over the last several days, like how much this has helped them.
Mm-hmm.
Moments to grieve,
Yeah.
how to care for each other and ourselves, and then like accepting this mandate. I mean, I think part of our job, if we have any kind of leadership influence, is to give courage to people.
Right.
Like, we give clarity about what's going on, and then we give them courage.
So good.
And so my job is to give clarity. This is what I think is going on.
Yeah.
And then we want to give you courage to do it. And then, by the way, the other thing, we give clarity, we give courage, and then we give context for it to work out.
That's right. And it's more anointed because it's alliterated.
Well, I knew you were going to say that.
But no, that's right. I mean, for a leadership podcast, these are good principles for every leader watching. I think you should say it again.
Well, I mean, our job as leaders is to give clarity. Well, I mean, even in a sermon, passage of scripture.
Yeah.
But I mean, for even cultural moments, we give clarity about what's going on. We give courage for people to go after it. Like, this is your calling, and you've been empowered by the Spirit of God to do it. We give clarity, we give courage, but then we have to help create a context for it.
Yeah.
And for me, a context is huge. That's why our ecclesiology is a big part of it. I mean, the context whereby this is all practiced was a very important part of Jesus building his church and telling us how he built it. And so give people clarity. What's going on, man? Give them courage. We can do this, and we should.
Yeah.
And let's create a context for it to happen. I think that's the role of a leader.
Powerful. I mean, I think this is where we should land the podcast. I think those are the takeaways in the midst of all this, that this is something, these are the three things that a leader can repeat in their domains.
While I was away in July, one of my as I'm praying about the coming season for us, I came out of July with this nomenclature that I'm praying for an obvious move of God. Mm-hmm. Like this is our language. This I said to our church this week. This is language we're going to be using, like an obvious move of God.
Yeah.
Like, we've had a lot of good things happen here. Like we've grown and we're growing. We're strong and we're healthy. We've done a lot of good things, but I want an undeniable, obvious move of God.
That's right.
And so I'm calling our church to pray for this until we see it, and then we won't stop.
Yeah.
But I want us to pray for an obvious move of God in our church.
Yeah.
Now, do I want stuff for our city? Sure, but I want it through the local church.
That's right.
I don't want our city to get fined without it coming through the vehicle of the gospel, because that's not lasting.
Yeah.
So I'm praying for an obvious move of God in our church that will, of course, affect our city.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I'm ending all of this. It's gonna rise and fall in prayer. We have a lot of people who pray powerfully in our body, but I've called us to do it, even to coagulate that even more.
Yeah.
And to elevate it even more. So thanks for the conversation.
So good. Thanks for your insight. Thanks for helping leaders. This podcast is powerful for leaders in every context. So I'm glad that you're speaking into that domain.
Thanks for saying that. I'm glad to do that with you, and I'm glad to have so many good conversations in my life with other leaders that inspire and encourage me, And thanks for listening to this. If it's helpful for you, here's how we ask. Subscribe to it, share it, like it, and that's it. I hope you have a great week. You are loved. See you soon.